Now, if you have a situation where you will have to connect your PC via wireless, but still the signal strength is not strong enough, you can use WDS, or also known as wireless distribution system. By doing so, you can use two routers and connect them via wireless and connect your laptop or a PC without using wireless. You can directly connect them using your network cables. To do that, you will need two routers, two wireless routers, and one of them should have WDS. First step is you should go to your primary router's interface. So if I go to my primary router's interface, you will have a wireless options. Your interface might differ from mine, but still the things are the same. First, you will need to go to your wireless settings and check your wireless name and your wireless password, because we will need them in the second router's interface, because we need to add them in order to connect them via wireless using WDS. So first you need to check your wireless name and the password and the key type. Afterwards, you will need to go to advanced settings where you can select the wireless channel ID. So normally this will be in the auto mode. You will need to change this to one of the manual ones. So best thing is to select something like number 1, because it's normally there, or else whatever you want. So now currently my one is selected as number 1, so I'm going to leave it as it is. And the channel bandwidth, it depends on you. If it is 20 megahertz, if you are using 2.4 gigahertz, if it is 20, you will have a longer distance but lesser bandwidth. But if you have 40, then you have lesser distance but stronger bandwidth. So I'm going to use 20. After selecting these settings, save it on your primary router. Now afterwards, what you will have to do is you will have to go to your second router. So in order for me to do that, I will need to plug my router. So as I have already done that, I can go to that router's interface. So for me to go to that router's interface, I will have to first find the IP address. So the best thing to do is you will have your laptop's network card. If you have your laptop's network card, plug a network cable onto that and plug the other end onto your second wireless router. The first wireless router may be out of your room, but the second one, it definitely needs to be close, because now we are going to configure it. So now you plug a network cable onto that and connect the other end to the router, because it's much more safe and easier to communicate with the router's interface. So after you connect, you will see your network connection as like this. Now right click on that network icon, go to status and details. So if you don't know how to go there, right click on this network icon, open network and sharing settings, change adapter settings, right click, status, details. Now from these informations, check the IP address which is shown in your default gateway. Normally that would be your second router's IP address. So my one is 10.0.0.1, so I'm going to type that on the router's interface, the browser interface. Now I'm on the second router. So my first one was Tenda, my primary one is Tenda, and the second one is a TP-Link one. So out of these two routers, the second one is the one which has the WDS option. So if you are going to do this option, definitely one of these routers should have WDS. If sometimes you might have both in both, but only one should be enabled. So now I'm going to log into my second router, and the first thing that you need to do is disable in DHCP, because as this is a router and we are not going to use it as a router, we need to disable the DHCP server. So I'm going to disable the DHCP server. Now he's asking a reboot. I'm going to reboot my router. After reboot happens, then again we'll go to the router's interface. If you can't log into the router's interface, that's the reason is that your IP addresses are gone. Now if I go to the status of my network card like before, you're still seeing that because previously it assigned an IP address using DHCP. Now if you don't see any IP address, you can go to properties and go to IP version 4, and you can assign a IP address which is on your router's range, something which is like this. My router's IP address is 1, so I cannot assign this one here, so I'm going to assign something like this. So I don't need now because as I have one, but still I'm going to assign one to be sure. Okay, now again if I refresh this router's interface, I can go to the interface. So again I'm going to log into the router's interface. Now I'm going to verify whether DHCP is disabled, so it's already disabled. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to wireless, and if you want you can give the same wireless name which is given to a primary router into the second Wi-Fi router. So but now I'm not going to do that because as I'm doing an experiment, so I'm going to leave it as it is. If you need to give a Wi-Fi password for your second router, you can give it from the wireless security settings. If you are going to give the same wireless name, the best thing is to give the same wireless password. Then whenever you are going from one router to the next, automatically it will connect to the second router. But now I'm not going to do anything. The next thing is this one. So this is the option we are going to use, enable Wds Bridging. So if I select on that and click survey, I should be able to see my wireless router. So Marshmallow is my wireless router. Here you can see the MAC address of my wireless router and the name, the signal strength, the channel which we select manually, and the wireless security standard. So I'm going to select connect. Even though it got all the other settings, I cannot connect without having the password. So now I need to give the password. So in order for me to give the password, I will have to type it here. So as I have typed it here, I'm going to click save. Still I can't. The reason for that is my wireless name has invalid character. So I'm going to select my second wireless name, which is named as Iron Giant. So I'm going to select on that. I'm going to give the password and click save. Here it says a message, your AP channel is not as the same Dhcp channel. Do you want to change your channel? The reason for that is the current channel of my second route is 6. The one which I select on my primary one is number 1. So if they are in 2 channel numbers, we cannot communicate. But it says that we need to change. When I press OK, you are able to see that automatically it will be changed to number 1. So that's why we are going to select manually the channel number on both routers. So this is one as well as our primary one. So after doing these settings, click save. So normally in some routers it might ask a reboot, in some it might not. It depends. If you are not sure, you can just give a reboot and see. So if this is working correctly, now if I go to my network settings again, now as I have assigned the manual IP address, I'm going to remove that. Previously I got an IP address from this range. Now if I remove these settings and press OK, if it works perfectly and go to status, I should be able to see an IP address from my primary router. And now if I type this IP address on my browser's interface, I am able to go to my primary router's interface, but I am connected to my second router. So guys, so in this way you can connect 2 networks without using a network cable. If you have a situation where you cannot use a network cable, you can use this very much. So thanks for watching and have a nice day. Thank you.